What is up, you guys? Julian here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make proper Schronz like Jason Little and Svetec. You can get this full template at the top of the description on my website. Make sure to go grab that. Thanks for the support, everybody, and let's get started. Alright, so we're at 165 BPM. I know it's a little faster, but it works really well with this groove. First thing we have is the kick. So this kick is made with 3 layers. We got our kick punch, which is this one. You can see I made it a bit shorter and then I used the fade out. I mean, it's pretty short. Since this is so fast and you have these basses in between, you know, this kick can be a lot shorter. Then we got our actual bass. And so the way we make that is I took the same kick, or actually I believe it's a different kick, but it's like, yeah, just taking a kick. You can see I have the arpeggiator playing 16th notes. I turned the gate up too, because by default it's a bit shorter. And then also, you want to drag the start time forward, because you can see that's essentially how you set the pitch of your bass line here, right? I also pitched this down a little bit, and then I faded it out at the end. And there's a little bit of hybrid reverb. And then the amp, right, that's making it nice and hard and Schronzy. We got a low pass filter, which just takes a little bit of the high end off, but it's still leaving that like fullness in the mids. And then we got this auto pan to kind of like fake sidechain it. Cool. And the last layer that's really important for the Schronz rumble is this. Usually you want to have some kind of thing like this where it's just like a top layer of just grunge, like. And you see it's kind of all stacking up. So the way I made this one is it's the same thing you just saw, but there's no arpeggiator. I got this hybrid reverb, amp, high pass filter. Right, so we're just creating that, and then the auto pan for the fake sidechain. On the group here, there's no processing, but there's this high pass filter. Right, pretty popular Schronz effect. It does a lot for building tension, just having those filtered kicks for like 2 bars like that. I think I want to show you guys this one because one, you'll notice the filter doesn't go up that high. Like you can do a lot in the margins, like just in that little range is what sounds really good with the kicks. And also with the resonance up, like you can even put it higher. See, it just gives you like a juicier kind of sound on the filter. Then we got our drums. So starting with these two, just some. We got this really short but punchy hi-hat. And a ride hitting on every quarter note. You can see, yes, I got that like this. Pitched it a little. Chorus to spread it out and make it wider. Auto pan so it's bouncing off the kick. And you can hear that really helps the groove too with this thing, and then we're high passing it. So then I've got these loops that I made. Now, I want to show you guys something new. We've been talking about Schronz on this channel a lot over the past few years, and I've shown you guys how to do the method that a lot of people do, and a lot of the tracks we've all fallen in love with in this genre, we're using the rave loops, right? Where you take like just a short section of these percussion loops, speed it up, pitch it up, and kind of distort it and create something new. And that's cool. But today I'm showing you how to do it without loops. So what I've done here is essentially we're just stacking a lot of different little percussion sections and then distorting and filtering them to basically create something that's going to fill the same range of the frequency spectrum that all those rave loops were doing, but we're creating this kind of from scratch. So the first one here, what's going on is we got this drum rack. It's creating this little loop, right, which is like just this long. So you're just going to start by making some kind of weird little repetitive percussive loop like that. Then I distorted it. Right, so obviously kind of creating something new out of that. And then auto pan to make it bounce off the kick. And then we filter it. And this is really important. So that's just the first one. This is how this is gonna work. It's like with the rave loops, they're a lot more full, but with these, you're just making like little kind of like sections of the frequency spectrum, and they're all gonna add up. So this one's just like in that section. Then we got this one, which uses another drum rack. So that's the technique, is you make drum racks, and you just make a pattern inside of them. This one's literally just a quarter note of just these like that. Sometimes when you put sounds together like that too, and you distort them, you kind of get like cooler stuff. So see, I'll low pass it into distortion here, sidechain, and then high pass. So now we got this. And then with the drums, it sounds like this. So we start, this is with no loops. So you see, we're starting to fill this in, and then we bring in the other ones. So this one, same type of thing, just a really repetitive pattern. This one is just like absolutely crunched with the amp. Like it just sounds broken, but then you filter it. This one's adding a lot of groove as well. So again, you see it's just these different combinations of distortion and filtering plus the volume shaping. And this is how you can create those things from scratch. And you make, 4, 5, 6 of them. It could even be really however many you want. But I wouldn't just do 1 or 2. I think it's got to be like this, where it's like maybe more than you would think would work. But it does work. And then you get this awesome background percussion loop, no loops required. So then we got our synths. I got 2 of them here, which sound like this together. Right, you can hear there's a lot of energy just in the synths. So the first one, when I was listening to a lot of those Jason Little tracks, I noticed he uses a lot more like synths and melodic lines and stuff, which I really like with the Schronz. So to make this one, as you can see, there's no MIDI. This is using this sequencer, this SQ sequencer. If you have Ableton, if you actually bought it, and then all you gotta do is you gotta go to your packs, and there's like the sequencers pack. It came with Ableton 12. I've got that right there. We're using the SQ sequencer from that. I really like it for this kind of stuff. And what I like to do, I'll just do this from scratch. So let's take this patch again, and we'll just delete it. And what I'll do is I'll just drop it on. This is how I made this one essentially. And the dice here randomizes whichever thing you click the dice on. So let's do, like, that's the steps, like which ones are going to be on. Like, let's do. Okay, so we got that, and then we'll randomize the pitch, and we'll randomize the length. And see, you get these cool sequences. Plus, you can do, what I did on this one is you can see, it's actually going backwards. Like, it's actually going like. Yeah, it's kind of weird. See, I set that there. And you don't have to randomize it, but the randomize just kind of gives you cool things that you wouldn't be expecting. And it can help when you need inspiration. Like, admittedly, I had already kind of tried a few different things that weren't necessarily working. And then, yeah, you try randomizing stuff and see what's going to come out. It's a collaboration with the machines. It isn't just about, oh, I'm just a genius and what I think of is what I put into the computer. A lot of times it's like, these things are set up to do a certain thing and you can randomize it. Let's like see what it does and then kind of try to envision that within something we can make, rather than let's just make this thing that we see in our heads because we're geniuses and everything we think of is perfect. So then we got the patch. What I'm doing here is I got this operator patch where it's like this setting. So actually you're just getting FM between C and D. I actually turned off A and B, as you can see, and I ended up just kind of turning off the pitches and doing them on the fixed. Yeah, it's kind of a weird patch. Like, if you play around with these, that will work really well too. Like, you're getting this weird FM thing, but when you set the carrier like this to be much lower, that's what makes it sound so, like, I guess still melodic, right? We got a low pass filter with an envelope. That's what's. See, kind of keeping it a little tighter. I think with these really fast, like techno 16th note rhythms, it can really help to just have that, you know, really tight and punchy. It's gonna make it fit into the track a lot better. And that's really it for the synth. I got a bit of hybrid reverb and some amp, which is 100% wet. So here's without those. Yeah, sometimes the amp can literally just like animate the sound so well. We get this auto pen to make it sidechained, and then a high pass filter. And with this, you know, when you're dealing with Schranz, these drums and the kick and the bass and all that, they're taking up so much. Like, this seems like it's cut pretty high, but it's because it's got to fit all that other stuff. And then we had the final sound, this little stab. So yeah, this is something you're probably a lot more used to hearing in Schronz, just like this kind of a groove. You know, just having that one little stab just hit right. And then, but also it blends very well with this. So to make this, it's a very similar patch, but there's not the sequencer, and we're playing it very low. Like if you played this other one really low and I just turned the sequencer off, you would kind of get, not quite the way I've set it up, but you get a similar type of thing, right? When you play like with these FM sounds very low, you get a lot more harmonics. My guy Seamless R back in the day basically said, like, you know, the lower a sound is on the frequency spectrum as far as its fundamental, the more high harmonics you can add to it. So playing the stab down low, that's why it's able to get so juicy with like a very similar patch, right? So this one, yeah, like I said, I took that same patch, I tweaked it a lot. This one, we're playing with having the carrier much higher. Got some filter drive too, so if I turn that off. See, that's what's really like I always say animation, like it's really animating the sound because it is the sound without it, but this is like that, you know, visceral, alive sort of thing. We got our hybrid reverb, really short, some amps, so here's that. And you can also see it all works together, because without those, it's not that either. Plus, I brought in this cabinet after the amp, which I think is kind of cool, right? Like, it's adding to the reverb, it's adding to the texture. And it's part of what makes this sound so like nicely glued, is that everything's going into that. There's a lot of the guitar sounds that people have, you know, is because they put like a delay pedal or a reverb pedal or a chorus pedal into a distorted amp and cabinet like this. So like same kind of concept with Schronz. We got our sidechain, high pass. And that is going to be it for this one, guys. So, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. Let me know if you want to see more Schronz videos like this. Like I said in the beginning, you can get this full project files, samples, MIDI presets, this entire template from this video. It's available at the top of the description on my website. Thank you so much for the support, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow with another video.